So it's a great privilege that this morning we have people team here with us in Ilegbon, and it is for the good of the land. Thank you very much. And this morning, like I mentioned, I don't really want to take the training. It's just to introduce us to the reason why we are here. Now, why the need for eco-friendly farming? Now, harmful agricultural practices such as bush burning. How many of us here farmers do not burn bush? Let's be truthful, we are not, nobody is giving you reward. How many of you have farmed this year and you have not burnt bush? Please say the name, sir.
Every one of us have participated
in bush burning. But it's not good for the environment. Another thing is felling of trees. Get somebody to clear the whole thing off. Get an original aboki man with his cutlass. So yeah, begin to cut. I don't want to, the tree will disturb my fan, you cut it. Felling of trees. Chemicals. Chemicals from fertilizer. You know fertilizer is a chemical. Chemical, there is no fertilizer is a chemical. Overuse of fertilizers. Some of us, because we want our maize, our corn to be big, have you bought fertilizer vegetable before? If you buy it in the morning, by the time it's getting to evening, it's already running because of the chemicals in it. But when you buy original vegetable from the farm, even till the third day at times, it will still be fresh. Now, all these harmful agricultural like overuse of chemical is not good for the environment. It's not even good for us as human beings. Then we also have pesticides and herbicides. You spray them. You go to your farm, you spray something that you are meant to spray, small. Oh yeah, I don't want to see any weed. You're very good guy. I cannot get somebody to help me to weed. You clear the whole thing with herbicide. It's having implication on the ecosystem, on the biosystem of the soil. There are some things. That's how God has created the whole world. There are some things that of course they are microorganisms, but they also have a function. Herbicide and pesticide, they kill all of them.
These days point to really harming the environment that we live in. We see what is happening presently in Nigeria. Flood here and there. Many people have lost their homes. Thank God we are in a church, but God has been so kind to us. We could leave our houses today and then come here comfortably. But a lot of people in Nigeria today, almost about 45% of this country is inside water as we speak. They cannot enjoy this luxury that we are enjoying here now because their houses have been flooded and submerged. It is not their fault, but they could have done something about it, which they did not know to do. You understand? In avoiding some of those things is what brought us here today. So that we learn some things we can do so that we will not destroy the environment that we live in. The sun will shine too much, heat will destroy. The rain will fall too much, it will be a disaster. How do we create a moderation? What can we do? So we have brought some experts in to be able to train us on some of these practices that you people can indulge in the course of your farming, and then you will be able to see that you will gain more in your yield, farming yield, and then at the same time you will not be destroying the ecosystem.
I really appreciate people at it's a privilege that we move láti learn, because the ultimate aim is to share the right thing, let us do the right thing, and then we also get a right yield. There are so many ways in which you can plant, even by reducing the use of pesticides. So many police added to as pesticide. Majority of us don't know moringa, neem, the lowest pesticide, neem tree, you can use it. I'm not a specialist in it, so our specialist will come, and it's actually He's actually the co-founder of Oya. We are both co-coordinators. So he's especially the good agricultural practices in production or in farming, and he has also worked with Forest Research Institute of Nigeria in helping people to plant trees, to also control the climatic control. So you can learn a lot, you're going to learn a lot from some of the things that we can do to ensure that we do things the right way. Planting of trees, I really appreciate the fact that we also have some trees that have been brought here and are planted. One of it, soursop, that soursop, the leaves are very, 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 very medicinal. It's anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, so many healing benefits. That is even aside from helping us in production. There are so many trees that we just cut down, and they are very, very beneficial to our health, even to the farm. There are so many things to be talked about, but because of our time, I really give time for Daniel.
So what I'm saying now is that you see when you're looking at your landscape from when you're looking at maybe your farm, the land slope is this way. What you're supposed to do is that before you take in your machine, your caterpillar to make sure you help you your ridges, what you do is that you look at the landscape and you do it across instead of along the slope, because if you do it along the slope, what happens is that when erosion comes, you wash down your ridges. So that's one of the reasons why. Yes,
instead to be horizontal like this.
Yes.
Now you know vertical.
Okay, look at
okay. Maybe instead of the landscape is bent down like
yes.
This. So how do you think our ridges will be? Is it horizontal or vertical?
Okay, vertical. If your landscape is horizontal, slanted this way, what you do is cut across it. Don't go along the line or the slope.
Don't go along the
line of the slope. Go,
Yeah.
Yes. Do you understand?
Yes.
If your land slope is this way, if it's going this way, it will make sense you do your ridges this way. What you do is what?
Cross it.
And not just ridges, you do beds better that way, because as you even with the erosion, you notice that what the beds are reducing with time, because there is what is packing all the sands, and to expose your what the crop.
How we can use it? So the way we are talking now, we are
Okay.
what we are trying to say is to abandon chemical.
Yes.
Then in another way, you teach us the way we use and how we use it.
What we did last, before it was ginger, garlic, and then a little detergent. Yes. And then we mix it, we soak it for 5 days, and then we can use it to spray. So it works for effective like so most especially for our vegetables, because it's not advisable to use chemicals, especially for vegetables.
Ginger,
garlic, remember, and then
detergent wants to speed up the reaction.
So you don't even need, if you can leave it for long, you don't have to add detergent. But you can also add oshedudu. Oshedudu is opposite. So you don't have to add detergent because it's just to speed up the rate. So oshedudu will make it thick on the leaves. But the major ingredient there are the ginger and the garlic.
I want to know whether is there any disadvantage of planting tree beside our house or near our house. Because disadvantage, because I ever heard that if we plant a tree, some tree near our house, especially this dogoyaro or big tree like that, the root, is it not going to affect our building? And the building, is it not going to collapse? Then, to continue with my question, if there's heavy wind, how is it going to be? Is it not going to
risk of falling on
our? Then number 2 question, how can we know the type of soil or land that is good for that specific crop? For example, like this tomato or pepper. Can we just plant tomato anywhere we can see? And how can it germinate? I want to.
Alright, man. So first question, I got that right. Like, what kind of trees can we plant in our house that does it have advantages? Yes. When we're talking about planting of trees, there are some trees that we like. I told you during the dry season, what it does is that it looks for water. So spread here is very, very true. So that's why we call the spacing. There's what? There's planting spacing. It will not be very, very close to your compound, but you can say, okay, 20 meters away from anywhere around your fence. 20 meters is very good spacing. So it won't be enough to break down or to push down any of your walls. So depending on any form of tree, just give any 20 meters. Mango, mahogany, Iroko, any of all those ones too. Those are the ones that they have a long time span. So 700 they spend 100 years without anything affecting the wind. They mentioned around wind as well too. Wind does not it helps the wind. In fact, it helps you to break wind. As a matter of fact, any form of wind that is coming to it helps to withhold the pressure. Yes, so if all those ones we see that most of the time that breaks, that takes off tree, as a result of maybe a lot of erosion that has started eating up the trees, things, or they did not take care of all those trees from the onset, or so that means even though when you are planting the tree, you have to take care of the tree. I mentioned around before what we can do about pruning. So when you prune the first, second time, it gives you a chance to be able to gather momentum to go to solidify under the ground. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, alright.
Yes, tomato are vegetables, and vegetables are very sensitive to soil fertility. So one of the ways in which you know if your soil is fertile is when you look at the color, and then you look at in any place that you plant, do we have a lot of green vegetations around it in the soil growing. Once you have a soil in which you have several vegetations growing, it's a sign that that soil is fertile. So that means that you can plant tomatoes there. And that is also the same with a lot of vegetables. So they are very, very sensitive to fertile soil. One way is look at the color, another way is look around, like that way. You can see that there are lots of vegetations, a lot of green plants around it. That is a sign that that soil is fertile. So you can plant.
My name is Lagelu. I just feel that we have not appreciated our facilities enough. Because if you have gone for a seminar that you are paid for, you will know the worth of what has been dished out this afternoon. Please, once again, I want you to put your hands together for our participants. They have done very, very well. It is not easy. Thank you, our facilitator. Yes, why are we here today? We have heard it all from different quarters, from the regional manager, from our head of operation, telling us about what Requite is all about, and also giving us a brief of what GLFx is all about. What are we doing? We are creating a community, not just physical community. You have presence online, like Nick has said, the general manager, that if you put Ile-Igbon GLFx or Ibadan chapter on Google, you will find Ile-Igbon community. That means what we have been able to do is to bring you into the global community that is talking about landscape restoration. We have talked about what causes landscape degradation and what you do as a farmer that contributes to the landscape degradation, which is part of your farming practices. Now we have brought in facilitator experts to come and educate you on eco-friendly farming. That is what we have been doing. But what we are come here to do is to tell you that yes, we have identified with you, we have started with you since last year, and will continue with you. We have come to collaborate with you guys. We have assured you that whenever we have a project that has to do with farmers, smallholder farmers, we will always come to Ile-Igbon. And in doing that, we are also telling you that this is a small project that we have started concerning landscape restoration, which we are in partnership with GLFx. Then we are also telling you that when the bigger projects come, we will not let you down and we will not forget you. But to go for us not to take much of the time, we have a program that we want to do. We want to carry out the practical aspect of what we have been taught. What is that tree planting? They have talked about the importance, the essence of tree planting on the farm, at home, to the environment. In fact, when you're practicing environmental conservation, you need to factor in tree planting. But the major thing that I want to excite you with is that this afternoon, when we come back from our tree planting practical session, we have a token for you. I thought you'd be clapping for us. We have a token for you. Yeah, we are presently at Ile-Igbon community with the farmers. What we are doing now, we have done with the training and we are moving to the field to do a practical demonstration of tree planting. As you can see, we have equipped them enough with the knowledge that they need to know on how to practice eco-friendly farming and how to engage on sustainable agricultural practices. But what we are going to do now, outside the class, outside the training, we are going to the field to see the practical demonstration on how to plant trees and also emphasize the essence of tree planting, because that is part of our landscape restoration initiative. The farmers are excited. You can see they trooped out in their numbers and they are excited to see how we're going to demonstrate this practical tree planting. Thank you. Currently now we're about to plant two major tree crops. So we currently have soursop and melina. So both of them have different land spacing that is required. Okay. Because we are not planting because of now. Okay. We are planting to see what will happen in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years time, because you're expecting them to spread. Okay. So that means you will not want a place where they are touching each other. Okay. So that means you are looking at minimum of for anything that has to do with mahogany, anything that is less than 10 meters will not be okay. Okay. So that we can be able to have a spacing whereby they can be able to aerate and be able to support the eco-friendliness we are looking forward to. Okay. So we are trying to expand. We are trying to look at the situation whereby the land space around, you can also use it to plant something else in between as well. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense. It can be a shed on it. It can be a shed on it. Okay, very good. And we also want to see how we can continually study what we planted there. Yeah, so any form of shrubs, any form of legumes we plant under there too. We also want to see what happens. So we are going to use 15 by 15. So we plant one here, then okay. Thank you very much. I think that's okay. Then another thing is that we can also see plants on the plain land, but depending on the land slope. Some people say it, but because we want to, it's still useful, and we don't want to throw away our nylons on the floor, because we want to make sure that our nylons are always useful. If you are not recycling it, you can also use it because it's still strong enough to go for another. You can plant another thing inside it. We said we are fighting against the fact that we don't want people to be throwing nylons on the floor too. Pure water, wọ́n ní kò dáa rárá. Tẹ́ bá ti mu pure water ni ẹ keep it. Nylon rẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti mu pure water. You know, we can still. Tẹ́ bá ti mu pure water, àbí sachet water yẹn, nylon rẹ̀ kẹ́ keep it. Kì í ṣe pé ilé tẹ́ máa sọ sílẹ̀. Tẹ́ pé lómi tó wà nínú mọ́tò tó wá ti mú àbójẹ biscuit. Yóò sọ nylon ẹ̀ síta. Wọ́n ní kò dáa, òun ló ń kọ̀ sí àwọn flood tá máa ń rí tí wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tí omi ya létà gbà ya shop. Àwọn ìjọba náà sọ àwọn àtẹ̀gbọ́tẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. So since we have most of the nylons are only matter yìí. Yeah, so we are trying to put it. Kókó ọ̀dà bíi pé ó ti rí natural habitat ẹ̀. Ṣé get? Okay. So
we are just coming back from the farm now for practical demonstration of agroforestry practices. And the facilitators took the farmer through a training session on how they can actually plant trees and practice intercropping on their farm. We have done the lecture and we had the practical demonstration. And that's what we do with GLFx Ibadan, trying to promote eco-friendly farming, because we know the implication on our landscape, incorporating planting of tree, agroforestry practice system into food production. And that is what we are doing. That's what we stand for. Thank you very much.
I'm Pastor Oyo Johnson, the chairman of the farmers and Ile-Igbon and its environment. I'm one of the elders in this community. I really appreciate the seminar brought to us by Ripple's Heights and GLS. We really appreciate it because they have already informed our hearts to know what we're supposed to know. And at the same time, they taught us how to plant the trees. They taught us how to manage our land. They taught us how to protect our land, because our land is our pride, and at the same time our land is our responsibility to protect. They make us to know that we must protect our land for the better use. So all those things that they taught us today, they have given us a green light that the future is bright. It has given us a clue that the future of farming in Nigeria is brightening, because the way people are using chemical and some other thing to weed their farming is damaging the land. But they have taught us now how to use organic manures in order to protect our land and in order to yield a profit for us. On account of this, we really appreciate the facilitators. They have done well. We appreciate them, and we pray that they should be, God himself should increase them in all their ramifications or whatever they lay their hand to do in life. I would really appreciate them. Thank you.